Oh, here we go. Today we are going to deadlift for the first time in over 2 months. It has been a while since I've been at it with this. I've been training for the Ironman, doing lots of running. I rode a 50-mile bike ride. I did a half marathon. Those were both firsts for me. I've been keeping myself very busy trying to challenge my cardiovascular system and just focus on endurance. And it's been great. I'll be completely honest. I feel really, really great about everything. Because there's been a nice change of pace, because I spent all of 2018 powerlifting, and I got big and strong and put on a lot of muscle, but I also put on a lot of fat, a lot of not lean mass, which is okay. It's part of the deal when you're trying to get really strong and you want to do it in a short amount of time. But ultimately, it left me feeling kind of cumbersome and not entirely as healthy as I want to be. So I really shifted my focus, and now I'm going to run that Ironman by the end of next year, and I'll get it done. But now the opposite's starting to happen, and since I've been doing so much cardio, I'm beginning to feel small, and I know that I've lost some strength. That bench press the other day, and man, I just feel weak, So I'm going to be doing my best with maintenance workouts in the meantime to try to keep, as much of my muscle as I can that I've earned, and, go from there. Try to keep a baseline with certain things. And one of the things that I value the most is my deadlift, because I've come a really, really long way with my deadlift. I started out in college, was when I first started deadlifting, like 2013, and I could barely pick up 225, and by the end of last year I was moving 425, which was pretty cool. The heaviest weight I've ever picked up. So I think in an effort to be both realistic but also ambitious in a truly Coach Andrew fashion, I want to keep some benchmarks, and I don't really think there's any reason that I should lose enough muscle or strength to no longer be able to do 405 for a single. So that's kind of my maintenance point. I want to make sure that I can do 405 for a single even when I'm doing my Ironman. I'm conditioned for that. And I think maintaining a 225 squat and a 225 bench for singles is a really good bare minimum. And my bench and my squat are I'm far from not being able to do a single with those. But 405 deadlift, I could lose that kind of quickly if I don't pay too much attention. So today we're just going to do some strength work here. I don't think I'm going to go for a single today just because it's been so long, but we're going to work up to that and make sure we don't lose too much of the ground that we've made. It feels good though. So I'll just kind of base today's workout off of what I did during most of my powerlifting, which was just a nice, slow, long warm-up, and then do sets of 5 all the way up until I don't feel like I can do 5 anymore. But I'll be skipping the singles today. Now I am excited to start lifting again a little bit more. I really need to put the emphasis on this because all of the cardio training that I've been doing for the Ironman has been great, and it really makes me feel alive and healthy, and it's distinctly different from strength training. I never did enough of it. I think only now am I finally doing enough cardio to actually feel like I can really be healthy and it's going to contribute to my longevity. But without the weight training, there is something that's missing. I have not been doing a lot of weight training. I've been having tunnel vision, and without the weight training, you just don't feel I just don't feel strong. And I can't describe what feeling strong feels like unless you're lifting weights. But like without it, it just kind of feels like your body is soft. I feel deflated. I don't feel like firm. It feels like my footsteps are lighter. It's kind of hard to describe, but it does feel like something's missing. And so I need to make sure that I'm still making time for this, because weightlifting is my original love. This is what got me into fitness, was strength training. And if you spend too much time away from the things that you love, the things that introduced you to something and inspired you and became part of you, you can lose little parts of yourself. And when you feel like you're losing a part of yourself, that's when you're at risk for things like depression, right? When you feel like you are no longer interested in or no longer participating in the things that you used to love, not only is that a symptom of depression, but it can be a cause, right? That can be the reason. The symptom can be the reason for the depression. And I've actually been thinking about this a lot lately, about depression and anxiety in general. I struggled a lot with anxiety over the last 5 years. Being diagnosed with ADHD, scoliosis, starting a business, being a stay-at-home dad, having kids. All of these things happened like in a small amount of time in my life. And that created a lot of anxiety that I had to learn to deal with. But one thing that I feel like I've never really struggled that much with was depression. There was a period in my life right after leaving West Point where I felt really quiet and somber and confused. And I think that's the closest I've ever been to depression. But newer things that I've been dealing with lately in my life, they creep up on you. And you start to realize like, hey, I'm not caring about certain things as much as I used to. Like, I'm not caring about weightlifting as much as I used to. And I have to ask myself, like, is it because I'm so focused on training for the Ironman that I'm just putting it to the side? Or am I actually losing interest in something that is like one of my greatest passions? And those are the red flags you have to look out for. Because if you don't pay attention and you don't ask those questions, depression will sneak up on you and it will grab you before you realize it's even there. I've seen it happen to a lot of people. They just think that they're having a rut, a bad couple weeks, a bad couple months, and then that turns into years. And then before you know it, you're stuck. Because the truth is, those patterns, even the tiny ones that you may feel like you have an excuse for, and you're just not scared that it's permanent, those patterns, they stick around. And if I stay off the weights long enough, even if I'm focusing on running and cardio, building my business, doing things right, if I stay off the weights long enough, that pattern, right, that neural pathway, it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And my desire to get back into this and to start lifting again is going to get weaker and weaker and weaker. And my rationality, my rationale for creating excuses, right, is going to get stronger and bigger and larger. And then, that's how you lose things. That's how you fall off track. That's how you fail at diets. It's how you fail at fitness programs. It's how you let a business burn to the ground. It's how you let relationships grow stale and fall apart. It's all the same. It's just neglect. And it doesn't matter what your reasons for the neglect are, even if they're good reasons. If you're neglecting something, it's going to start decaying. That's just entropy, right? you have to put energy into a system to keep it in order. And I mean, weightlifting, there's no denying that I'm weaker than I was a couple months ago. And is it worth it? I can't tell you that. It's subjective. But I know that I can't let this disappear. I can't let this fall apart. And so even on days like today, when I've been up since 6, I've been busy the entire day, it's almost 9, and I'm supposed to be upstairs enjoying time with my family, I've got to get this in. I have to make time for this. Because I cannot risk losing things in my life that are meaningful. I cannot risk the mental and emotional and psychological and physical decay that comes from that kind of neglect. And if you're going to take on big goals, if you're going to change, if you're going to move the goalposts and veer off onto a different path in your life, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget the people who supported you along the way. Don't forget the relationships and the ideas and the activities and the experiences that meant something, that did something for you. And don't let those fall apart. And it doesn't take much to keep that from happening. It doesn't take much to keep depression away, right? It's like an apple a day keeps a doctor away. All you got to do is deadlift once every 2 weeks, once every 10 days. Just maintain that connection. Don't let it disappear. And if something is truly meaningful to you, you'll find a way. But man, even now I can tell you I waited a little too long. I can feel my shoulders rounding. And 6 months ago I wasn't doing that, but there's been a couple months of neglect. Not gonna lie about it, not gonna sugarcoat it, not gonna make excuses, not even for you, my loyal and dedicated YouTube audience. I believe I have 47 subscribers at the time of this filming. I love each and every one of you. Hopefully by the time this is posted, by the time you're watching this, whoever you are, there's more than that. Maybe you're included. Maybe there's 1,000, maybe there's 10,000. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've been lazy. I have not been lifting. I'm gonna get chalk all over myself. That's the price we pay. That is the tithe in this church. I think we're gonna do one more with 225. And then we're gonna throw in another pair of plates and do 2 or 3 sets with 315. That ought to be enough for tonight. I gotta run 3 miles tomorrow. Maybe I'll film the next workout. I'm gonna do some chest and shoulders. And eventually, maybe I'll live stream these. Answer questions in real time. That kind of stuff's fun. There's only so many questions I can think of on my own. I'm really sorry if my head's been cut off. It looked like it is. I need a camera person. All right. More plates. You know what else I've been thinking about a lot this week is shiny object syndrome. Now, you don't have to be an entrepreneur to appreciate the devastating reality that is shiny object syndrome. The acronym's SOS, because if you have shiny object syndrome, oh, you need help. And I can relate. I've always had shiny object syndrome, but I've had it under control. But for the last 2 weeks, I've been thinking a lot about starting another YouTube channel. I found another niche that is just like ripe. It's ready for another channel with a strong personality to come in and create good content. And I really feel the urge to put time and effort into that. But like I said, I've got so much on my plate right now. I've got to pick my battles. And this channel still hasn't even taken off yet. I'm getting about 1 subscriber every 2 days now. I'm hitting a new milestone every week. We're almost up to 1,000 views per month, almost up to 10,000 minutes of watch time per month. If you just keep showing up and you keep learning and trying to get better, things are going to work out. So I know that it's just a matter of time before this channel gets where it needs to be, where I want it to be. The potential for this second channel, I know it's there. And I know it can grow just as fast, if not faster. And the content that I would be making for this channel would be really exciting. But I have to hold back, right? And so, like, what do you do when you have shiny object syndrome? Like, how do you make sure it's not destroying your life? And I think the key, the first key is being able to identify it, because a lot of people will rationalize new ideas and, they'll find reasons to neglect. Like I said before, depression, neglect. Shiny object syndrome will cause you to neglect things. And, you'll find a reason to do it. You'll find a reason to abandon what you're working on and start something new. And you'll rationalize it. So the first key is just identifying it when it's there. And the second key is rationalizing the correct way, which is telling yourself to wait and finish what you started. 315 has never felt so heavy in my life. Oh my gosh, I've gotten weak. That is unbelievable. I can't believe how heavy that feels. Oh. Yeah. I can tell you right now, 405 is not going to come off the ground. Not today, not this week. There is no way. Oh boy, I need to get these muscles back in shape. They don't know what's going on, they already forgot. Belt's too high. Oh my gosh. And it happens just like that, folks. It happens just like that. You take 2 months off. 2 months to go running. You stop lifting. You stop tracking your protein as religiously as you used to. You don't do maintenance workouts. That's what happens. That right there was an 8 to 10 rep weight 3 or 4 months ago. Now I can hardly get 3 off without stopping. That's what happens, people. Neglect. That's probably why I've been feeling the way I've been feeling, why I've been thinking about depression. Because I know I haven't been lifting and it feels like something's missing. And Exhibit A. So anyways, I think I'm going to leave it there. You guys just saw how weak I've gotten. And tonight I just wanted to deadlift. That's it. Nothing crazy. So I need to let my body catch up. I don't want to push things too hard or too fast because I have to keep doing my cardio training. This can no longer be neglected, but it also still has to take a back seat to the cardio. So we're going to take things nice and slow, work our way back up to a 405 single, nice and steady, and try to keep things at a benchmark from here on out. So let me know if you guys like this kind of video. I'm more than happy to record my workouts if I can have a stationary camera and microphone, because setting up and moving stuff around during a workout slows the workout down. But if I can have this, I can still talk to you guys, kind of share my thoughts, just do kind of a vlog style workout, and maybe eventually I can live stream these. And when there's enough people on the channel, I can take questions and things like that. But I love sharing these moments with you guys. Helps keep my brain fresh, and you guys keep me company during these workouts. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. If you like this kind of content, if you like self-development, you're going to love the channel. Please subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Anyways, I got to go upstairs and eat something and spend some time with my family. So peace out.